Yeah. All right. Well, I've just about milked this topic as much as I can in this segment, so I think we better take a break and keep watching how it progresses through the next few weeks. It should be interesting. That is certainly the bottom line. So we're gonna talk about some other draft stuff regarding the Vikings, some history, do a little history lesson for the Vikings and their draft picks at 18. So come on back and we'll talk about that on Vikings territory breakdown. Okay, folks, welcome back to Vikings territory breakdown with Mark Craig from the Star Tribune. Mark, all right, so we covered the whole Rob Brzezinski GM issue. We've got it all figured out. Mark says he doesn't think it's going to happen. I think there's a good shot. That's the way I'm reading that change in verbiage. Maybe it didn't mean anything, but that's kind of, so we'll go with that and see what happens in the future. And we can, if I'm right, I'll be sure to bring up this and go back and play the video of it where I said yes.
Yeah, we should probably have Mike Woldham cut out the part where you get to the end and you said, yeah, I've milked all I can out of this one. So let's move on. That's supposed to be in your head, not out on the.
That's the quiet part out loud. Well, let's try this next segment yet. So we're going to do a little history of it. But first of all, before we get to that, looking at the draft, looking ahead, Mark, I wanted to ask you, what are the Vikings' three biggest holes in their roster that they have to really try to fill? If you listen to us pray, if they want to get out of that draft and have it somewhat successful, what three holes are they going to definitely try to fill?
Well, and it's going to come in the first round, but center for me, I'll say center's number is up there for me. Defensive tackle and secondary, and to me, if they can get a running back, a dominant running back, at some point, so that's four, I guess. So, but I guess the running back doesn't go like I don't want to see like a need of a 7th round draft pick running back that. Unless it's the kid who went to Kansas City and then on to Detroit now, Pacheco. Maybe there's a guy like that. But I'm saying I'll go with center, defensive tackle, I should say, and secondary.
I can't argue with you on center, and I think there's a huge hole in the defensive line. They need a body in there that they can start building, and they got some guys, but they need somebody else to fill that hole, no pun intended. But there's also a wide receiver out there, maybe that.
Yeah, I mean, because they didn't go crazy, in free agency and throw all that money out at aging players. You're sitting there and you say, okay, number 3 receiver is pretty darn important, especially when your number 2 is Jordan Addison and you're a little shaky on his. Trustworthiness.